All right, thank you so much here. The program is still This Morning on ITV on independent television. And of course, I have my co-anchors here, Daisy Leo Atsikidi, and of course, Daniel Praise Osadebame. We told you that we're going to be looking at what happened yesterday when the president had to unveil also the new logo of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation. Now, the implication of that is that the NNPC has ceased to be a public company. It is a public limited company now. That's a public liability company now, what people call what shareholders, a company that shareholders can be part of. Now, one good thing that people say is the fact that this is a kind of a follow-up onto the signage of the Petroleum Industry Act that was passed into law by the president recently. But the very big fear now is that will this help in the corruption that is alleged that has been going on in the NNPC? What are the issues, and how do we ensure that the ordinary man on the street will actually reap the dividend of this new development? Well, I've got my co-anchors here, Daisy Atsikidi and of course Daniel. Now, this new logo of the NNPC and turning the NNPC into a limited liability company, what does it portend for the oil sector in Nigeria?
Okay, when I saw the unveiling yesterday, I tried to watch the whole, because it streams live on YouTube, there were several channels streaming it. And it really sounded so palatable, so juicy, and it looks like this is what we want. You know, one thing I noticed outside of Nigeria in their economies, bulk of the revenues come from the private sector. There are just a few things government owns. Private companies are employing people, and as a result of that, you're in business for profit. So you would do all to make good money and also render good services because they have a standard that is acquired there. So Nigeria, a lot of things that government manage, we've seen in years that they don't really work. I'm sorry to say, they don't really work. If you compare the government schools, if you check the best schools in Nigeria presently, I don't think it's going to be government schools. If you are talking about the universities, the tertiary institutions, in fact, the government-owned ones are at home. They've been at home for over 150 days. And this is not the first industrial action they're taking, you know? So, but the ones that are owned by the private people, the private organizations, they're moving fine. They're employing people. Academic activities are going smoothly.
They're not owing
salaries. They're not owing salaries. At least we're not hearing that they're owing salaries. So even if they are, you know, private establishment make it in a way that you don't have a union. You cannot down tools. If you down tools, you go home. That's on the one hand. So privatizing companies, I don't really see it as too much of a big deal. But Nigeria that I know, my fatherland, from what I have seen, all these good deals you're putting before us, are we really going to reap it? When the president, this administration came on board, they told us one of the major things that we're going to do was to deal with this refinery issue, so we don't have to be importing our own fuel. And till date, they are going to leave seat next year. They've spent 7 years in office, and refineries are not working. But instead, a private individual, Dangote, is building one of the biggest refineries in Africa, in Lagos State that doesn't even have space and land. And it's working. And Nigeria was even looking for a way to buy a share from the refinery to be a part of what's working.
So you can imagine.
So it makes me feel one way and another way. I feel like if this could actually work out, it would be good. But where I have reservations is that you say you have given us a new NNPC. The staff that were there, that led to all of these problems, that made us say we need a Petroleum Industry Act, we need a refining of the old petroleum industry. These people that caused the problems, quote unquote, are still the ones working there. The members of the board did not change. The staff did not change. So how are you going to convince me I'm going to see a different result? There have been so many issues before the emergence of the new NNPC that were all embedded in the word corruption, you know, and these issues have not been dealt with. Are you now saying because NNPC has changed, these will leave it there? You remember that off the mic story and all that, off the mic, you know, a lot of dramas emerged that made them say, okay, no, government will wash their hands. Now, NNPC will no longer be remitting to the treasury account, the general the federation account.
Yeah.
Fine. Account. So at the end of the year, they give some monies to the government. Them use MTMs, the telecommunications. Recently, they increased their tax and said they needed to pay about, I think, 75 million, if my memory serves me right. And what did they say? They said they're going to take it out from the consumers. Now, if they add 2 kobo to your call tariff, it doesn't seem like much. But you won't notice it. But within 3 months, they're going to raise, considering they will raise the 75 million or even billion, if it was billion or million, but by my calculation then, they would raise the money after 3 months. But will they stop adding that 2 kobo on our? No, they won't stop. If it's a business all about making money, I'm afraid that the fuel price is just about to start skyrocketing.
Well, I think, from my own opinion, one good thing that that comes out from this whole recent development is probably going to end the era of subsidy, petroleum subsidy. I mean, we're not going to be hearing of that again.
Very
now,
true.
Because for over time, for more than, as far as I can remember, for more than 15, 20 years. The federal government has always had issues with petroleum subsidy.
Yes, they have.
A situation that most Nigerians have actually questioned whether if there's actually subsidy and all
or
that.
Not.
Now, political parties have also are believed to have come into power as a result of the fact that they were able to tell other Nigerians that, look, hey, it's just a joke. There's nothing like subsidy and all that. Now it is highly a commercial venture. What that means is that they are now into business. So whatever you get, the profits you make now is going to be for the company and, of course, for the shareholders. So I think if it runs well, we still have the board of the NNPC. With the Petroleum Industry Act, being signed into law, if all those, contents of the act is really done to the letter, I think NNPC will be on the verge of really making money. Despite the fact that, okay, they are not going to be remitting to the FAC committee, because one of the reasons why Buhari had to say, hey, let's stop this thing, is that it was reported some time ago, about 2 weeks ago now, that for the past 2 to 3 months that NNPC has not been remitting to FAC. And you and I know that that's one major one major source of revenue
for the country.
About 40%.
So more than 40%, if not even 70 to 80% to the country's revenue. So if NNPC has not been remitting to the federal government, then it shows that there has probably been a huge corruption issue there. So with this new development, making it a public, making it a liability company whereby shareholders come into it, buy shares and all that, I think it's going to be a new development, because shareholders cannot afford not to make profit. So I think it's a
welcome development, Evans, but sustainability is our concern now.
Yes.
The president actually means
the intentions are always good.
Very good intention. If you listen to what Mr. President said, you will love it. But the question is, the people to drive this vision. How sincere are they? Like Daisy actually noted, the board are still there. You still have people who have been running it before. It's just like you just change clothes and the same person. So the individual, what are they going to bring on board? Now, don't forget that we all depend on oil, whether the rich, the poor, everybody depend on fuel to survive. As far as Nigeria is concerned, everyone needs this. But however, are they going to sustain it? How sincere are they in driving this goal? These are the two things we should look at. You talked about corruption. Look, let's not deceive ourselves. It's our father's land, like we said. but will there be changes? If we privatize it, fine, it's a good one. It will reduce so many costs from the government too. They will not need to spend too much.
Yeah,
so it's like you're servicing what is not bringing anything back. So making it a private sector, won't some individual hijack it? These are some of the things.
Who are these shareholders we're talking about?
That's the first question we should
Who are they?
No, I think with the new development, any person, if you are so interested, if you have money to go into buy shares there, you can.
Who are the people who have the monies to buy shares in NNPC? We've heard rumors of politicians having their own special oil block. Is it not those people who have generated...
Same people.
I remember when Atiku, the former vice president under Olusegun Obasanjo, was campaigning for presidency. This was one of the things he said. He said he's going to make sure NNPC becomes private even if he dies. And then the interviewer asked and said, is this not an avenue to make your friends rich? And what did he say? He said, this is not what he said verbatim, but this was what he inferred. Is there any law that says my friends can't be rich? What is wrong in making my friends rich? That was what he meant. So who are these people who are actually the shareholders? When the NEPA was going to be privatized to PHCN, and then we have the DISCOs, the DENCOs, the BEDC, and all of the different states owned, we had high hopes as well. The deal was beautiful. Prepaid meter came on board. Like, if we not get lights, you not go buy bill. But how many people have prepaid meters today? I know he's holding these people accountable and say, okay, we don't have prepaid meters. You are going to be dealt with. Nothing is happening.
We've contributed money to get prepaid meters.
And you still haven't found prepaid meters.
Close to 2 years now.
You would even pay them for the prepaid meters, and you will not get.
Arrive, so.
I lived in the house I'm living in currently. We were there. It's not my personal apartment. It was a rented apartment, but we paid ahead of time because it was very comfortable. So our rent was not due when the light went bad. We were inside without light for 1 year and 8 months. I hear people call on our shows and say, I live in a place where there's no light. And I'm like, I say they stay there. How do you stay there? I experienced it 1 year and 8 months. I couldn't leave because what we paid was quite huge, and I'm like, I will manage, I will own generator. Nobody came to say, how is it that these people do not have light? Let's handle this matter. No, nothing happened. The community had to contribute money to buy their own transformers. They still bought the transformer by themselves, which they will eventually still give to the BEDC and say, it's your property. Come and connect the light. Over 6 months. They said people needed to buy prepaid meter. Over 70 landlords bought prepaid meters, and we are yet to see these prepaid meters. Where are these monies going to? Who holds them accountable, like Fraser said? So that's the problem.
Well,
so you're going to tell me, they make it seem like, they make it seem like.
Next one
I think Daisy, it's very natural for you to want to entertain some fears, just the way most Nigerians are entertaining now. But I think we also need to give this administration privilege of the doubt. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt, because the truth of the matter, just like what you said, that the issue with Nigeria is really not the fact that things are not done. It is the fact that things are not done the way it should be done.
Yeah.
Now, President Buhari yesterday, while he was unveiling the new logo, he said that it is the expectation that the NNPC is going to be activities there is going to be done with the best international practice. Now, it is not only in Nigeria that you probably have the oil sector being privatized. You have it in some other nations. But I think with the new Petroleum Industry Act that the president signed into law, if the content of that bill, the content of that act is going to be followed to the letter, I think most of the fears that we are trying to entertain here is going to be a thing of the past. Because the truth of the matter is that, just like what I said, that I do not see, I can't even fathom that a major source of revenue to a country like Nigeria, to a nation like Nigeria, for the past few months now, has not been remitting. What does that mean? What does it mean? Is it that they've not been making profits all? I don't understand.
At this point, I feel like saying, off your mic, off your mic.
No wonder,
this move was very key.
No wonder the country has been borrowing for some time now. Because if NNPC has not been remitting, money to the nation to pay salaries, to do major infrastructural development and all that, where does the country get the money from?
Now, where's the money they're generating going to? Because people are still buying petroleum products.
Let's give benefits of the doubt. perhaps this new move is going to arrest some of the alleged corruption, practice within the NNPC. So let's just hold on and see.
All right. Sorry, a lot of Nigerians do not even understand. They're not very business savvy. They don't understand all these many, many technicalities. What the average Nigerian is expecting is, I will not be in a queue waiting for fuel. Hey, fuel will come plenty, go yakwa, I just go filling station and buy them, then the price will reduce. I do not believe that price of fuel is ever going to reduce now that it's a private company. They're about making profits. But for the fuel being plenty, well, there's hope. There's hope. I don't want to be negative about this whole affair. There's hope because we have a refinery being built now. So if you don't have to, a private exactly.
Refinery.
So that's what I'm saying for
that
the cost.
Is also going to be making
which
profits.
is why I said for the cost, I cannot categorically say the cost is going to drop.
Yeah.
But the availability, if they really want to make it available, everything is on the ground now to make the petroleum products available in large quantities
now,
and all of that.
It is not the crude oil that is actually the problem in petroleum.
No, it's the refined product that is the problem.
It's having the refined product.
That's why the refinery
home.
is the good thing, it's a good move.
You understand? So
Yes.
we've got the crude in abundance.
Oh, we do.
In major parts of the country. But you take this crude outside,
Then buy
getting
it
it
back.
the availability of it becomes a problem.
Another aspect we should really look at now, the incoming government. This government have less than 7 months or so to go.
Yeah.
The incoming government, will they sustain it? This has been our problem in this country. You have good policies, good intentions, but somebody just come in and they just sweep it off the carpet. So the incoming government now, will they sustain it? Can they sustain it?
Anyway, let's
Get your
let's-
PVCs and vote. Look at the three candidates very well. The one you think will have your best interest at heart. Get your PVCs and vote the person. Let's see how we change all of this.
Being political.
All right, so we also said that we're going to look at what happens to Rauf Arugbesola recently in faraway United States of America, whereby the gentleman was believed to be having a tea breakfast. That's what we call it now in the U.S. now.
Does that look like tea?
Well, he was having breakfast.
My dear, it was breakfast.
He was going to take something. Only for another guy, bounced on him and invaded, into his privacy. Now, what is really the major cause of this kind of situation? This is not the first time that we're having this. Now, Daniel Praise said a while ago that we also had a situation whereby at the time the president was far away in the UK. And of course, all of a sudden, some guys came around his abode where he was staying, and of course, started making comments. Now, some few years ago, we saw what happened to the embattled Ekweremadu now in Germany. As a matter of fact, it was almost
lynched,
physically manhandled and all that. Now, what is really the reason for all this? I mean, this is a new development, so to say. In about 20, 30 years ago, we were not having this kind of situation. I mean, we had Nigerians in diaspora 30 years ago. So we were not having this kind of situation. How come there seems to be a norm now that Nigerian leaders outside this country, they're at risk, so to say?
Senator Okorocha was speaking somewhere one time, one country like that. And a young man just came and almost, in fact, it almost led to a physical combat. It has been happening. It has been happening. Well, like I said in the opening, I think when people are really getting benefit of government, you might not get this kind of reaction. Though what that guy did was very wrong. Outrightly, we need to condemn that act. But however, I think if our leaders are actually sincere, and of course, people are getting the dividends of democracy, you won't really get this kind of backlash on them. Okay,
I think we're going to let our viewers see that video, and I also expect calls and comments on that.
They also have something to say.
I meet you, but I will talk after the video. I want to see the video.
All right, so let's quickly see the video. Let's quickly see the video. And we'll open up the studio line, so that you call, you make your comments on the issue. Please, let's try as much as possible to make our comments on civility, so that we don't aggravate issues here. All right, let's quickly see the video now.
Hello. Is it Aregbesola? I just said hello and he left. You look like, are you Aregbesola? Pardon?
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm a Nigerian.
What do you want?
I don't want anything. I saw you. I think I recognize you. Aregbesola. Thank you. No. Your Excellency, I have to. If you look at Mwasibai. You can't touch. You can't touch this. America. You can't touch this.
You can't record me.
But you can't touch me.
I have the right to my privacy.
So you have to tell me this is America. This is not Nigeria. This is not Nigeria. You can't. No, this is not Nigeria. You can't just take my phone. This is America.
My privacy.
So you just tell me that. This is America. This is a free country. Do you understand? This is a free country. I can do what I like in America.
You cannot.
I can do what I want in America.
I cannot record you without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that if I want to record Biden. Biden can't tell me that.
Come again.
This is America. If I want to, even Biden, this is a free country. This is not Nigeria. You are alive. Don't touch me. If you touch me, I will sue you. I'm an American. Don't touch me. You can't touch me. This is America. If you touch me, I will sue you. So leave me alone. This is a free country. This is a free country. This is not Nigeria. You're alive. This is not Nigeria.
You cannot record me without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
You cannot record without my authority.
Biden can't tell me that.
I have the right to my privacy.
This is America. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. This is America. Biden can't tell me that. You are not in Nigeria. This is America. Biden can't tell me I cannot record it.
You cannot record me without my authority.
You are in America. You are in America. You are not in Nigeria. You are in America.
This man is sick.
Yeah, I'm sick.
Okay, sir.
You are in America.
Hold on. He's recording without my authority. He's recording me without my authority. You cannot.
This is America. This is not Nigeria.
This is not Nigeria, sir.
Sorry.
You don't have the right.
What do you mean I don't have the right?
Not worried.
I don't want you see. I'm good. This is America. Yeah, I can't record you. This is a free country. This is not Nigeria. I think she take the match.
All right, the program still this morning on ITV. That's the video that has gone viral. The Honorable Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Ralph Aregbesola, all in the way in the United States of America, having his private time, and another guy, just invaded. So the thing is generally eliciting reaction. Some say that there's no invasion into somebody's privacy here, and some say that his privacy has been impeached upon and all that. Now, Daisy,
personally, when I saw the video, I had to reach out to a lawyer and said, okay, is there an invasion here? And said, no, there's no invasion of privacy. First of all, it's a public space. Secondly, you're permitted to make videos. It's not a minor you're videoing or something. And in the video, it's not like you're beating him up or any of those things. And also, you are not uploading these videos to get monetary gains. Okay. So there's no much of a problem here at all that he wants to sue. There's nothing to sue. Okay. But where I had a problem, you mentioned something before the video where you said, why is this occurring? And Pray said if our leaders were doing well, things like this would not happen. But where I have a problem with this trend of harassing people, there was a story I heard of Nigerian female footballers when they went to play somewhere, and then some Nigerians in diaspora also attacked them and said, why are you representing a failed country? It's going to, if we don't need this at the board, where Nigerians in diaspora feel like because they're abroad, they can just do as they like, it's going to extend beyond our leaders. Now it's to the leaders. We are saying, I beg, they deserve it. It will start extending to just about anybody who comes from Nigeria. So the day a leader does something good and you say, okay, this leader did good, and you say it, when they catch you, say, why are you took money, that's how you said it is good. You will not have your own opinion again. So it has to stop. it's been on for too long, and I think even the government outside of those countries should begin to do something about it to protect people. If they come to your country to relax or to treat themselves or just for whatever reason it is, they deserve to be protected and not harassed. So leadership or no leadership, this act of trying to attack people should stop. Then the guy he personally has his own problems. It's enormous. I saw when Rauf beckoned on him to say, come sit. So
like
if you really,
gentleman.
yes.
Yeah.
So if you really had a grievance in your heart and say, okay, he's a Nigerian, he's a former governor, he didn't do this and do this and do that. And so you have things to say, you have facts. You sit down and have a discussion and seek his permission to record it. Or if you so desire that you don't want to seek his permission, you want to record, then let's hear something intelligent you were saying. It sounded like one of those people who are abroad and just hear one story or read something from a blog, not a media, an electronic media per se or a print media. They just read from all these bloggers that are all about making money and just carry it. They don't say you carry it, go. You just carry it and, Nigeria has failed. Nigeria has, he didn't even have anything tangible to say while he was recording the video. I was waiting to say, okay, Aregbesola, there was a case of a boy who did this or who did it. Oh, Aregbesola, there was a time when you were governor, there was money that was sent and you did not use it. He didn't have anything tangible. It just felt like embarrassing the man, harassing the man, or doing something to make him uncomfortable. And this is America. Biden will not try that with you.
I think he did
Really?
that. I think that he did that to spite the person of Aregbesola. Because when he started the video, he was like, oh, is this not Aregbesola? Oh, this is Aregbesola. He started the video. I'm sure he just wanted to be sure.
Hey, let me tell you, Aregbesola, we are equal here now.
Yeah,
you are
this is
not any
America.
big. No. It's an unhealthy. It's an unhealthy way to deal with issues. We need to be able to
Uncivilized.
very uncivilized. We need to be able to talk issues, and our leaders need to buckle up. When sorry, before we start taking calls quickly, when the Boko Haram issue started, it was targeted to the northern part of the country, and those of us in the south were not really feeling it, and we're just like, oh, it's in the north. Before we knew, it has gotten everywhere. Everybody is now collecting. It will start with the leaders, and we say they deserve to be dealt with. Before we know it, it will spread to just about anybody.
All right, like what I said earlier on, I said this is a new trend, just like what we said now. 30 years ago, even 15 years ago, we didn't have this kind of issue with
we didn't know because we don't have phones like that. Social media was not active.
But
Exactly.
I think we also need to look at the situation from another dimension now. Because I'm not trying to speak for Aregbesola now, but you could tell from his countenance that the man was even confused. Now, mind you, that thing happened just during the period of the Osun State election.
Yeah.
You understand? And of course, with the political issues in Osun State, how the allegation that Aregbesola was not in tune with the voted out governor now, and all that. So when that incident happened, Aregbesola was confused. He didn't know, okay, maybe this guy is one of those that has been sent by my political distractors and all that. I'm sure that was why he was even trying to tell the young man, come, you sit down, let's have a talk. But the young guy,
he had nothing.
was only, he
won't dare that in Nigeria.
He didn't even say anything.
He didn't have anything to say.
He did not even say that.
He didn't have anything
He didn't say anything. He was just talking. He was just blabbing, just like what, I'm sorry to use that word anyway, but that's my own opinion. Just like what somebody would say that you blab. He was just blabbing. I mean, if he had said that, okay, you are here now, can't you see this environment? Are you not enjoying this kind of environment? Don't you see the kind of freedom that we have here? Don't you see the kind of roads that you rode on to have come here? How come you guys don't do these things back home? I mean, one would have, knew that, okay, it's probably because some of our leaders are not living up to expectations. But the way he went about it, hey, this is America, with the very colloquial,
his argument was
very
baseless.
unaccentuated accent and all that. So it's for me, I don't think if that, because in the first place, I saw the confusion on Aregbesola.
You will be confused because the guy is not saying anything.
The man, he didn't know who is this guy. Who
is this guy that is not saying anything
he was trying to say,
sensible?
okay, you come, let's sit down. I think what that guy would have just done, the guy would have actually sat down, then had a talk with him.
Give him
then
questions.
engage him.
Let him answer.
You understand? But he didn't do all that. But he was just trying to do some other things and all that. So and perhaps also too, I'm not also trying to, stand in for some of our leaders that are not doing well. Because the truth of the matter is that even if Daisy is trying to say that it has to stop now, I think it will continue. Because if you don't do well, if you're not doing well back home, when Nigerians in diaspora, when they catch you, they will always, because they pay, most of them, it was out of frustration and anger that they left. Most of them, they left their children, they left their spouses back home, and they got there, they declared,
asylum.
Asylum and all that.
Some are educated and they are sweeping bridges.
They have to go through some very harsh immigration procedure to maybe get their residency and all that. So whenever they see any of our leaders out there, the first thing that comes is that it was because of your bad government that I left the country. So not until our leaders change. Let them change for one, so that we don't continue to have this kind of reactions and incidents. Anyway, we said we're going to open up the line so that you can actually make your comments on the issue. 070-8365-1320. I repeat, 070-8365-1320. The PD will let us have that number on the line now. So that you can make your comment. Please, just like what we said, let us try as much as possible to be very civil on this, issue this morning. 070-8365-1320. Daisy.
Hello, caller. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're watching from.
Yeah, this is Collins from Benin.
All right, Collins, quickly go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, like the teacher just explained. So like what my gentleman had just said, that is the scenario. Some of us who have had the opportunity to travel this country should see what we face over there with the great most of our lives. Why must somebody like me leave my own country to travel to other countries and be experiencing mess and be experiencing maltreatment, handling, that people who are of course are not even up to my standards if the government of my country have done something wrong.
Okay.
If that is one of the reasons transfer, I can put that transfer of aggression, so to say.
All right, thank you, Collins.
Other normal circumstances, as a leader, you are supposed to be free to associate with your people. And when somebody is recording someone at times, is this another person an opportunity to say, I've had an opportunity to meet so person.
Collins, you need to summarize now so that we can take other calls.
All right, so the leaders will be up and doing and let everybody be happy. And each other anyway.
All right, thank you so much. He actually said it's transfer of aggression.
It is though. But we need to develop healthier ways to express our angers. So that we don't also rubbish, not just, we're trying to embarrass one person is a Nigerian. We are also Nigerians, so it's, at the end of the day, it's not a general thing, say Nigerians, all of them are just Agberos.
Daisy, it's like you've not heard of, I can actually remember the governor now. The governor was in a public place far away in the U.S. He didn't prepare for that thing. It's not as if maybe he staged some persons to praise him as soon as they see him. No. But because of what the governor did, if you would have seen the way, the applaud came, and all that reception and all that. So the point we're trying to make here is that as a leader, you try as much as possible to replicate some of those things you see outside. You see good roads, you see good public facilities here and there, and of course, you see good structures around there. So why don't you replicate it? So if you don't change, if you don't do well, we will continue to have that kind of reaction. Nigerians in diaspora, they are not happy. Just like what I said a while ago, that most of them,
Evans, let's take more calls, okay, so that we can hear from our viewers. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Emeka. I'm watching the program.
All right, Emeka, where are you watching from?
I'm just calling from Benin.
All right, go ahead and share your thoughts with us.
Actually, what the guy did is not right.
Okay.
But our leaders should really change because the youth are no longer happy with them.
Okay.
The youth are no longer happy with them. A time will come if our leaders don't change. A time will come, even in Nigeria, they will be receiving embarrassment.
Okay, Emeka.
I believe that too.
All right, thank you, Emeka.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's already happening. What do you
I
make
believe
of
that.
an advanced team of a whole president being attacked? An
By
advanced
terrorists.
team of a whole president? Do you know what it is to want to attack an advanced team of a president?
Just imagine he was in that convoy.
Anyway, more calls. 070-8365-1320 is the number you call. I think we have more calls now. 070.
Okay, okay.
Let's take
You
this
wanna-
call.
okay.
Let's take this
no
call. I'll get
problem.
your reaction. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Tell us your name and where you're watching from.
This is Sunday Bilebe from calling from Lagos.
All right, go ahead and share your thoughts on that.
Okay, please, we know that these things that is going on right now, it has become a trend. They
Okay.
did it to Kwema, like, okay, so, but we need to respect ourselves because let's be honest, all of us are frustrated, we all know. And let us not shift the whole blame to this government. I don't like any of them. But this thing started since 99.
Okay.
Since 99, Nigeria have been destroying. I was in my village in Afuze. Now I'm in Lagos. We were all farmers. When some of our guys moved to Abuja since 1999, we farmed for a whole year. We don't make up to 15,000. But those guys moved to Abuja only they were snapping pictures from those Alhaji and Allah. They came home, they were buying cars. All of us ran away from the village.
Okay.
That was when the problem of Nigeria started. The youth, they decided to leave the farm, they left the village, they thought the money is in the city. Now look at us, we the Southern, we can't feed ourselves. We are waiting for Hausa to eat food.
All right, thank you so much.
And everything, we all blame leaders. We ourselves, we are contributing.
Okay,
We are
thank you.
contributing. The Nigeria problem right now is becoming something else.
It's okay.
Please, I just beg. Let them stop this. Let us come to Nigeria and harass them here, right here in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you,
Not
Sunday.
Because our name here is being spoiled as well.
All right, I think we need to let you go Sunday. We're going to go all the way from Lagos.
Yeah, Daisy wanted to say something.
Okay, I was going to say if it's all about the leaders, like Sunday just said, if it's about the leaders, why did they harass the football team and said why are they representing a failed country? So nobody should represent Nigeria. If I become very successful tomorrow, it's not going to change the fact that I'm a Nigerian. I'm still going to always refer to the fact that I'm a Nigerian. In fact, I am not only a Nigerian. I'm a typical Bini girl from Nigeria.
All right, typical Bini girl from Nigeria. Let's hear from this caller. Hello, good morning, caller.
Hello, yeah, good morning.
Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Audience, my name, I'm Oliver from Second East Circular.
All right, go ahead and talk to us, Audio.
Good morning. First of all, let me thank you all for this. But Daisy, let me tell you, people these days,
Daisy, this one is to you now.
Directly.
the hardship in this country is too much. And those that are abroad, they are bearing from the pressures from there as well. And if you're in another man's country, if things go well, then people just country is not as your own. The United States is not there, the West is not there as your own. They are doing this way, and those people will come. In fact, I don't know what they are here in schools, university abroad. Their family are there. People, they see how they live there. Until they start behaving where they continue to collect. My sister, I tell you, Adibo himself was not mature enough. He lost his confidence. He did not handle that issue well. If you look at it very well.
All right, thank you very much.
If you are in a place of power, people sit down and do what they are doing. Even himself, he lost his composure. Because he's guilty.
Thank you so
You know
much.
what this man said about jailbreaking and what do you call it? You accept people. You expose what he said. And it is the most thing that will be such a
all right, I'm afraid we're going to pause you here now. We've actually gotten what you've got to say. Okay, Evans?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't have time anymore. But one thing is clear. Let us try as much as possible to be good Nigerians outside the country and good Nigerians inside the country. Good leaders. If you are a good leader, then of course it shows that you are a good Nigerian. You cannot be a bad leader, then you expect people to refer to you as a good Nigerian. No, it will work that way.
All right, our Nigerian leaders should buckle up and do well. All right, that's on the one hand. And our Nigerians in diaspora should learn to coordinate themselves because it's not just about expressing your grievance, you're also representing a nation. If you behave like unrefined, they're going to see everybody. There's already a tag to the color black.
Yeah.
Everyone who is black.
So Nigerians somehow.
There are countries who are even
your
beginning.
passports and see what happens.
Exactly.
The way
There
they
are
look
countries
at
who are
you.
even beginning to stop giving Nigeria visa just because you're Nigerian. So if you continue to behave like, oh, I don't care, I'm angry, I need to express my grievance, in the long run, all of us will suffer it. So let's coordinate ourselves. Even if you want to face a leader in diaspora and you feel like there's an opportunity to meet this person man on man, do it in a way that is civilized. I'm not saying you should respect or be polite or to bow down, but be civilized and express yourself, get reactions, all right, in a good way, and I think we'll all just be fine.
Well, let us come together and make Nigeria great again. We don't have another country. This is our home, and all of us have responsibility to make it great again. Okay, TMI will be coming again tomorrow with Sonny Duke Okosun and Q.
Yeah,
all right,
of course.
final word.
Bye-bye.
All right, so that's the show today. Very big thank you. Goodbye, and God bless you.